Hi, my name is Grant McComb, and this is my Eagle Scout project. This is our home. Our world is an amazing place, full of beauty and wonder. From the flowers, to the cactus, the insects, to the fungus. This is our planet. Here is your country. Cherish these natural wonders. Cherish the natural resources. Cherish the history and romance as a sacred heritage for your children and your children's children. Do not let selfish men or greedy interests skin your country of its beauty, its riches, or its romance. The environment is where we all meet, where we have a mutual interest. It is the one thing all of us share. So what does the environment or the natural world mean to you?
Well, I guess it means my life, because if it wasn't here, I'd be dead.
So all the green, all the trees, all the wonderful wildlife.
The environment is definitely huge to me, because if there were no environment, that would just be terrible. Everything would be so unorganized and there would really be no beauty in the world. So the environment definitely means a lot to me.
The environment is like where everyone lives, and so if we mess with the environment, we mess with everyone. We don't just mess with one select human being, it affects everyone.
Well, first of all, it's home, because like before we were all here and all this pollution came along, it was like this huge land of trees, and that's what makes us live.
Not only like the plants and all the animals and everything, but also like what we're like, because you have the natural environment, which is like national forests, all that stuff, like in the mountains and stuff. But then you also have city environments, like if you go out into the desert, you'll see how there's just a random road paved in the middle of like natural stuff, and it's a really good example of like, how humans can so greatly change the environment. And so the environment to me is, what are things living in, what are animals living in, what are plants living in, what are people living in.
If we didn't have like the environment that we have today, or we would kind of not be right now living right now.
A couple of years ago, when I wasn't a Boy Scout, the environment didn't mean like much to me. Now that I'm a Boy Scout, I feel more about the environment and the things in it.
A place where I can relax, get away from all like the hectic city life. I love the environment. I love so many things about it. I love the nature, the trees, the rocks, all the formations that nature has naturally put together, and I honestly think that we should protect it and not destroy it.
Step outside and look at the beauty of the world around you. How many of us today can even identify 30 different types of plants and animals that live within our own ecosystems?
A nation that destroys its soils destroys itself.
What do you think is the most important environmental issue facing us today?
It's probably like our polluted water.
Okay.
That's a big one for me. And then just all our like genetically modified food.
GMOs?
Yes.
Okay, that's actually the first time I've heard that tonight.
Pollution.
Pollution?
Yes.
Okay, so like global warming, like emissions, that kind of thing. Well, what do you think?
Well, there's a lot. Yeah.
So you don't think it's just one, you think it's a variety that come together and form this monster?
Yes.
Okay.
Besides global warming, of course.
So global warming?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
That's number one.
So what do you think is the, like, contributes to global warming the most?
We waste a lot, we don't recycle.
Oh, okay.
We recycle. Our carbon footprint is too high.
Too big, okay.
I don't know what the most pressing concern would be. You hear a lot about global warming. But other than that, I don't really know. I mean, I know there's a need to be environmentally conscious. But other than that, I can't rank.
I mean, I would guess that just sort of normal pollutants, things that are kind of influencing the overall carbon footprint, you know, whether it's big corporations to planes to cows to any CO2 emission, I guess, would be insignificant. I also think that fracking is a little bit bigger. It seems like a pretty significant issue that affects water and health as well as the environment.
I don't know, global warming. Global warming. Okay, and how do you see us as a population securing a greener future for our children?
I don't.
You don't? So you just think it's going to totally be destroyed for our children and our children's children?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. So when somebody says be green, what does that mean to you?
Being green is definitely doing everything good for the environment, like trying to keep everything as it is, not moving things, not taking things from the environment, and recycling to make sure that if you are going to cut down trees for paper or do other things like that, that you will definitely get the best use that you can out of it.
Making sure I leave no trace, making sure I leave it even better than I found it.
It's to be sustainable so I can keep the earth the same way it is now for the future. But leave the world better than you came into it and leave no trace.
To try to conserve resources and, you know, you recycle and stuff, but it also means if you're in California, don't water your lawn every day. Even though that might be green, like in the color sense, it's not very green in the ecological sense because you're just wasting water. If you're in California, don't turn your yard into something it's not supposed to be. Don't turn your yard into a tropical rainforest when you're in the desert, you know. Try to keep it like natural with the surroundings. Preserve the environment and
to save the environment, recycle, ride your bike if you can to save energy, and use solar power because it saves a lot of energy.
Help around in like conservation of forests and stuff, and try to bike to school. Just to leave no trace and leave a place always better than you found it.
Make sure the environment is protected and making sure that all of our resources are as sustainable as possible. Because right now, with all the fossil fuels we're using, we're pretty much heating up the environment. Global warming, we're not really sure if that's the real reason of it, but it's definitely because of us, because the world was fine until we started coming into the picture, into that small percentage of our time here, and we've been kind of screwing it up, so we need to start fixing things.
I would think like keeping the earth healthy and green place, like by cleaning up after yourself and
reduce, reuse, and recycle. So yeah, those are the 3 R's, and they mean to me like throw your recycle away, pick up trash, don't cut down trees, use less paper.
Turn off lights you're not using, or turn the AC down to please don't have blasting it cold, or don't be like leaving the faucet on while you're brushing your teeth. To help the environment, because we're just protecting the environment for our children and us, so we have to protect.
Do you guys want to protect the environment?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys think politicians should be making decisions that protect the environment for you guys? Do you think they should start protecting the environment more for you guys?
Throughout your Boy Scout career, you're taught a lot about protecting the outdoors, especially with the outdoor code. One of the basic tenets is leave no trace, which is when you are outdoors, and you are most of the time as a Boy Scout, you need to make sure to leave it the way it was before you got there, so that everyone before you finds it and experiences somewhat of the same thing that you did, and not less so of what an experience you had. So you don't make it worse for someone else, and you make sure the wildlife there isn't hurt or changed because of what you did. I think we've been going in a wrong direction for a while now, but there have been a lot of procedures starting to be put in place that are starting to fix our carbon footprint and fix our ability to inflict pain on the environment. And if we keep going in that direction, specifically keeping with sustainable resources and non-damaging resources that hurt the planet, then I think we'll be doing our world a favor.
Well, me being a Boy Scout and me being green, I feel like it also gives me more of a more an obligation to keep it green, knowing that it's also my Scout law and like the oath and other stuff that we can other Boy Scouts can also enjoy it, and also other people that just go camping. So I feel like if I don't make it green, I feel like I'm not just breaking my own morals, but also breaking the Boy Scout law and code.
So as a Boy Scout, you don't want to hurt the environment, and you want to preserve it as best as you can. So Boy Scouts should definitely help the environment and do their best to save it.
So that's our environment. If we stand together as a people, as a global community, we can change the way our world works for the better. Remember, we have one planet and one chance.
Protect the environment!
That's the end. Or is it really just a beginning?
Everyone should definitely step outside sometimes and look and realize the beauty that's been there since before we were